Here on my channel, I've been covering how I built and manage my healthcare companies. I created a course teaching step-by-step how to start a healthcare staffing company, and in today's video, I'll be covering a few tools you will need to find success in this business. If this is your first time, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn your notification bell on so you don't miss a thing. On this channel, I discuss living globally along with business hacks in real estate and healthcare, showing you the path so you can do the same. My name is Carl Pierre, and this is ENTP Life. People always ask me, how did I build my business and for me to mentor them? Since it kept coming up, I realized that the thing people need the most when getting into this business is to understand the business itself, making the first tool education. One of the main reasons why businesses fail early on in their story is because they really didn't know enough about the industry that they were getting themselves into to really have success. And what I realized, especially when people come to me and ask me for help, is that a lot of people are getting into this business of healthcare staffing because they've worked for healthcare staffing firms or they're working in hospitals and they're seeing how much movement there is with travel nurses or just temporary staff that's kind of floating through their system, and they want in. But the thing that they don't know are all the nuances and all the administrative work that goes into running one of these businesses. They understand the bedside, they understand the structure of a facility, but they don't understand things like payroll management, onboarding of employees, recruiting, and the likes of those sort of things. So when I set out to make my course, I wanted to touch on all these things. And I started in this business working with my mom, and neither of us knew what the hell was going on. So we learned through trial and error, and if we didn't have early success, we would have blown up. But this is things that you can avoid by properly educating yourself. You could either go through a course like the one that I developed, or just find someone who's in the industry, even if you're working for an agency, and see if they're interested in potentially expanding into a new territory and teaching you the ropes and somehow going into some sort of partnership. That's one of the ways that you could get education from someone who's actually running these sort of businesses so that you're able to learn from their mistakes and not repeat the same. Given the bureaucratic nature of healthcare staffing and all the paperwork that comes along with it, I feel the next most important tool is technology that improves the overall efficiency of your organization. Time is money, and the more time you free up using technology, the more time you have to do more money-making activities. It's amazing to me how often I come across people who are in the staffing business that are running their company still on paper. Actually, when you start staffing skilled nursing facilities and nursing homes, their timesheets are still on paper, and that's mind-boggling to me. And that's just testament to how kind of behind healthcare is. But if you want to be competitive and to have an advantage, one of the tools that you're gonna need is outstanding software to run your business. Now, in my healthcare companies, I created my own proprietary software called OnTime. OnTime is made for home healthcare companies, healthcare staffing companies, and social adult daycares. And I addressed it from the perspective of the owner-operator, making sure the software is all-inclusive and covers everything that we do in the healthcare staffing space. For example, healthcare staffing often starts with onboarding of a new employee, right? So we're able to post ads to Indeed and to other job boards, start our application directly in the system so we're not fumbling through a bunch of paper, keep everything within the system so that you're able to track the expiration dates of people's documents and also their licenses, physicals, all the things that you need to do to keep on top of whether or not your employees are compliant to be working. And then we also have scheduling tools where your staff could use a mobile application to punch in. It's fully loaded. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about how OnTime can help your staffing company, make sure that you reach out to me using the email address info@entplife.com, or you could contact sales@ontimeits.com, and you'll get a hold of my sales rep who will give you a demo and show you exactly how this tool will help free up your time so that you're running your business more accurately and that you have time to go out there and establish new business. If you're fumbling around with papers, calculating your own payroll line by line using timesheets from 7 different facilities, when are you gonna have time to go out there and establish a new contract? Or when are you gonna have time to go out there and network with a school that's having a job fair that just graduated a fleet of nurses? You can't waste your time on simple administrative tasks if you are the owner, founder of your business. If you do so, you're going to be wasting highly valuable time doing tedious work rather than using your highly valuable time to make the big money. One thing the internet has done is shrink the world, making global commerce and global arbitrage the way of the future. If you're not sourcing goods and talent from throughout the world, you're putting yourself at a competitive disadvantage. The internet has really changed the way that we work, and it's not just in the United States, it's really throughout the world. Now that people are able to connect and do work remotely or do work from computers or web-based work, you're able to secure staff in pretty much anywhere in the world. And when it comes to healthcare, since it is so bureaucratic and there is so much paperwork, it really helps to have additional administrative hands that are working to keep your business running smoothly and also to free up your time, right? In addition to having great software, you need to have great talent and great talent at an affordable price. Me, myself, I use a lot of international resources and take advantage of the currency exchange situation to get outstanding workers for a fraction of the price that it costs for someone that is just par in the United States. I'll give an example of what I mean. You can hire somebody in pretty much 65% of the world for anywhere between $10 and $15 an hour. And for that person, it's gonna be a bilingual, sometimes trilingual, college-educated person who has relative experience in the industry group that you either are working in, or since they are educated and they have strong skill sets, will be able to learn whatever it is that you need them to. So for 10 to 15 bucks an hour, you could find someone that's high quality that would pretty much be on par with what the minimum wage is for most cities in the United States. So if you want a high quality employee, you should start looking outside of the United States for really good talent, train them to do the jobs that can be done remotely, and increase your profit margin by reducing your administrative cost. So if you're not playing the international game for staff or for outsourced services and technology in certain trades, you are really putting yourself behind the ball. If you look at top companies throughout the United States, American Express, Verizon, you name it, a lot of them have shifted their call centers to international resources. Why? They're using people in the Philippines or India, Bangladesh that speak English to do some of the more routine sort of work because it costs them 25% or sometimes even less than one resource in the United States. So you have to keep this in mind and know that this is something that you absolutely need to be taken advantage of. If you need help getting paired up with agencies that I've worked with that provide outsourced staff, definitely reach out to me and I'll put you in contact with some of the resources that I work with so that you could get kind of that concierge service when it comes to finding your international resources. The last tool you'll need is a strong network that drives new business. This is going to come from making connections in facilities, working with other staffing companies on collaborative efforts, and enrolling with VMSs and MSPs. Oftentimes people say it's not what you know, but who you know. And this is true for healthcare staffing as well. You need to develop outstanding relationships with everybody. You need to develop outstanding relationships with your referral sources that are actually referring nurses to your organization or whatever other healthcare professionals you're staffing. You're gonna need to develop relationships with the administrative staff that are the decision makers at facilities that can help get your organization into their facility and provide staffing. This is all about getting in front of people, interacting with people, letting them know what your company stands for, who you are. Most of the time, when you're trying to establish a new contract, the decision makers are concerned with two things. Are you reliable and trustworthy, and are the people going to show up as you said? And are you able to fill their gaps and ensure that you're providing the coverage that they need? All of the facilities need to maintain proper ratios of staff to patients. And if they don't have that, they can't run their business. That's a beautiful part about healthcare staffing. It's a business-to-business service. So you're providing them with the essentials that they need in order to run their business. It's like a trucking company that has to buy gas and tires. There's no way that they could run their company without fuel. It's just impossible. So by having that relationship of being able to provide them with the essential staff, you're going to be in business permanently. And when it comes to the MSPs and VMS, third-party contracting, those systems are designed to manage the needs of larger facilities. oftentimes large hospital systems are going to work with MSPs and VMSs to manage all the agencies and all the contingent staff needs that they have. So imagine it as being like a master contractor to a large hospital system that then subcontracts out work to other agencies in their particular area. You have some VMS networks that are covering over 1,000 hospitals, and all of the openings that that hospital has for travel assignments and for contingent staff are going to be posted in one place, and they are responsible as the vendor manager to onboard the different agencies that are going to provide the services to this 1,000 hospitals that they're covering. So you definitely want to go out there and develop relationships with the provider enrollment specialists that are working at these VMSs so that you're in their network and able to have access to all these placement opportunities. If you're thinking about starting or are already running a healthcare staffing firm, drop me a comment in this comment section below. Tell me a little bit about your organization, what services you provide, and what cities you're servicing. You can also email me at info@entplife.com if you don't want to put your business out there in the comment section. I would love to connect with you and see how we could work together. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video and share it with anybody else you think may find it useful. Thanks again for joining me here at ENTP Life. Until the next one, take care.